Just got picked up at the Best Western. Show you guys a little of what downtown Nairobi looks like. Madness, absolute madness. So this is the Central Business District, no? CBD?
Pretty much, yes, this is it.
So we're in downtown Nairobi. Not too far from here is the large Nairobi University. There's Nairobi University. There's the Nairobi National Park. Beautiful park. That's also a good place to visit if you're just in Nairobi. You don't have time to really get outside of it. Lots of awesome things to do here. You can see just around us. This is it is Tuesday at 3:02 p.m. So see, there's a lot of people out and about. This is kind of what it looks like though, all day, every day. There's always a bunch of cool designs on the local buses. Yeah. So you've been to South Africa. You've lived in South Africa. What is the biggest difference that you would say that you can't get anywhere else?
Life here is a little faster than in South Africa.
Okay.
You go to the grocery store here anytime you want.
Okay.
In South Africa, I could only do that here after 9 a.m. up to about 8 p.m.
So grocery store is 24/7?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Very cool.
And you can get a place to eat, you know, for, I don't know, maybe $2.
Yep. So it's pretty, if you're on a budget, Kenya's also a very good place to visit. So many people spend all this money going to Europe to see the Eiffel Tower, or to London to see Buckingham Palace, or to Barcelona for whatever. I mean, Kenya, if you're trying to do something amazing for, I'm gonna say under $1,200 US, depending on probably a 4 to 7 night stay, it's absolutely doable for a good time. Whereas Barcelona or just Valencia or anywhere in Europe, you're gonna be paying premium to have almost an awesome, just as good experience.
So we don't pretty much care about red lights here.
Yeah.
Sometimes we stop, sometimes we don't, depending on, you know, the mood you have that
Is that
day.
the police car right there? Is that a police vehicle?
Yes.
There we go. There were people in the back of it. It was like open to where you could just like ready to fire. So you say in US, I mean, it's a big issue right now, depending on what side of the pendulum you swing as far as gun ownership. But here in Kenya, not everyone can just get a gun. It's really restrictive.
Yes.
But
you need a good reason to have a gun.
as far as the government, there's a lot of people who have like rifles that stand outside of like a lot of establishments, a lot of businesses here, like outside of banks or outside of, I don't want to say a supermarket, but I've seen, or a jewelry store. You've seen a lot of crazy. Why all the rifles?
Well, so in the last 10 years or so, we've had terrorist attacks, and you know, banks are mostly targeted just by robbers.
Yep.
But other public places, like you've seen in churches, there will always be a cop with a gun outside of a church.
Really?
Yes.
Imagine that. Imagine having, oh my goodness. So you have people with guns outside of a church. Recently, and I say recently as of like a couple weeks ago, you know, we don't have as much international terrorism as we do domestic terrorism. We have a lot of people shooting up schools, shooting up movie theaters, shooting up nightclubs, shooting up all sorts of different things. And in Florida, recently, we just passed a law that allows teachers to be armed. Teachers to be armed. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, if you pay them good enough, yes, it's okay to have them armed. In Kenya, on the other hand, if you give a teacher a gun and they're only making about $200 a month, and then that's not enough to cover their expenses, they're gonna use that gun for something else.
Yeah.
They'll find some money.
I see what you're saying. It's good. It's actually a very good point. I'm gonna have to look into how they're gonna be distributing I'm sure I hope not every single teacher is gonna have a gun. But anywho, let's get back to this. How long does it take typically to get out of Nairobi to like on the main road? Out of downtown Nairobi.
Out of downtown Nairobi, it'll take you a good amount of time, maybe say 20 minutes to get you on a major road.
Okay.
Because of this human tsunami.
The human tsunami.
Yeah, man, I call it that. There's lots of people walking up and down the street, crossing at random places, not designated ones necessarily.
There's another cop car.
Yes. It doesn't see you filming.
Really?
Yes, it shouldn't see you filming.
Why? What would they do?
Cops usually have this thing.
All right, so we got away with filming the police officer.
They wouldn't know that's a camera.
Yeah.
At least I hope. Yeah, here you keep your guard up all the time. You don't know who is gonna cut right into you.
No texting and driving?
No. You can't afford to do that.
Where are we heading? Well, I know
So,
not where we're heading, but like where are we
We're heading east of Nairobi now.
Towards the airport?
Yes, towards the airport. And this here is an older part of town. I happen to believe that when Nairobi started, this must have been the very first buildings constructed.
Okay.
And so as newer buildings came up, the bigger businesses moved to the west side of town, and smaller businesses remained in the older parts of town. It's more affordable here for a shop or a store or whatever
Okay.
than it is to get office space on the west side of town.
Okay. So these are some designs that I was talking about earlier on the buses. One thing you don't see in the United States is, or sorry, what you do see, there's lines, right, that tell you like this is the left lane, this is the right lane. You don't see that here. Like everyone just does their own thing. Have you?
We have lanes.
Oh, you have lanes. You do.
We do. Except you know, nobody really cares about marking them properly, and even when they're marked, nobody really observes lane discipline.
Okay.
And matatus kind of these big buses.
Yeah.
The local buses here, we call them matatus.
So
They have their own rules.
okay.
They do whatever and they get away with it. And something that they could do, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because mostly every cop knows who these guys are and they don't know who I am.
Yep.
I don't pay 100 shillings daily, you know, whatever bribe they demand. But these guys do. So, you know, they know the law and they make up their own.
Yeah. It looks like the Taj Mahal. We just crossed into India. So
Yes,
India
that's
is
all.
actually a tribe here in Kenya, by the way. I think they are the 43rd tribe.
And then the 45th, I believe.
45th tribe, okay. So there's a lot of Indians inhabited here as well. Look at this, dude! What is this? What is this?
Yep. They'll do that.
So what's going on with the light? It doesn't. I mean, it's not green or red or yellow.
It's broken,
It's broken. So
like everything else.
how do we? How do you know when to go?
You just go, man.
You just
hope you don't get hit.
you just do a little honk.
You need to have good reflexes.
Okay.
Know where your brakes are. and
Right. So
know when
we just had to
cover.
let that person know what time it is.
Yeah. Driving in Nairobi is the most aggressive thing you've ever done.
Yeah, no, I can attest to that. I've been in New York quite a few times. I've driven around Central Park, New York, and it is like the freeway on a beautiful day compared to this place.
Yeah, you have to be really aggressive here, otherwise you'll never get anywhere.
What is this? What is this thing called?
It's called a tuk-tuk.
A tuk-tuk.
Yes, they're predominantly Indian.
Okay.
I think they moved them here as a way of getting employment for the younger generation, they say.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a taxi of
Yeah.
sorts. Gets you around.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's cheap, but it's not very safe. And then we have motorbike taxis. We call them boda boda.
Boda boda.
Yes.
There's a tuk-tuk. There's a boda boda. There's a matatu. Here's a private Uber driver. We have all sorts of forms of transportation.
You can sit here all day, you won't see a single person walking up this.
You know what, you're right. As many times as I've been here, I don't think I ever do. Why is that?
Well, nobody really likes to use
Well, they just cross the middle of the road.
Yeah. They think it's faster that way. This one's in the middle of the city. Nobody really uses them because street kids have turned them into makeshift homes.
Okay.
/ bathrooms or toilet.
Okay.
So you don't want to walk into that.
Yeah.
Here's something interesting about this part of town.
Yep.
We make metal boxes.
Yeah.
For whatever occasion you have. If you're taking your kid to school, into a boarding school, you buy them one of this.
Okay.
There's blue boxes here.
Yeah.
You put anything in there and take it to school.
You take the blue thing to school.
Yes. If you're going to boarding school, then that's the best way to travel.
It's like your own private locker.
It is, yes.
Okay. How much does something like that run?
That should be about 1,000 shillings.
Okay.
So say $10.
$10. Yeah.
But it depends on different sizes now.
Okay.
Yeah, the prices may vary.
They don't have lockers.
They do have lockers, but it's lockers that are breakable.
True.
So
yes.
this now will house your stuff for the 4 years you're in high school.
Ah, very cool.
And they make them here locally, and a lot of other stuff that we make here.
You guys do a lot. Yeah. Entrepreneurship is like, look, that's pretty cool.
We call it the Juakali
Say it again?
Private sector.
The Juakali?
Yeah, the Juakali private sector. It's toiling under the heat of the sun.
And what's all this? It's just a market?
Yeah, that's an open market,
Yep.
open air market. People buy second-hand stuff, clothes mostly, and shoes, footwear.
Okay.
And they resell it.
Yep.
Mostly comes from Europe and the US, and then they bring it here and they resell it.
Love it. That's about it. So tons of awesome footage. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, just want to give you all some inside access to what it's like driving through downtown Nairobi in Kenya with an Uber driver, and of course all the awesome surroundings, such as this little tuk-tuk, and many other things. So have a great day, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Unanibamba baby kwanza unavyochekecha, kinywaji kwa mkono na kibeti kwa bega. Juicy quiz mademo napenda do na machali pia tunazo drama ya dunia ni mengi sana.